子供のお弁当を作りましたって英語でなんて言うの？ I made a lunchbox ではなく、今回の動画では自然な言い方をご紹介します。皆さん、こんにちは。アーサーです。日本のお母さんの多くは毎朝努力してお子さんのお弁当を作ります。海外に比べて素晴らしい出来上がりが多くて、海外でもバズっています。自分の作品を SNS でシェアするときによく、I make a lunchbox every day. I can't make a lunchbox every day.I will make a lunchbox for my family と書いたりします。伝えたいことはわかるんですけど、ネイティブにとってなんだかちょっと違和感がある言い方です。そこであなたも英語を単純に学ぶだけではなく、英語で自然にコミュニケーションが取れるように、今回の動画では、1、ネイティブが実際に使う言い方、2、なぜその言い方になるのかを学びましょう。そして最後に僕と数百人の僕の生徒が実際に気軽に話せるようになったきっかけをご紹介します。よろしくお願いします。これから英語で解説しますが、日本語の字幕もついていますので、ご安心ください。Anyways, let's get started. So through this channel, I want to help you develop a deep understanding of not just English words, but real communication in English. So normally in my videos, I share the important background information first, and then I share the natural expressions. But on almost all of my videos, I get comments like this.結論早く言ってよとか these kinds of comments. So today, I'll start with the key phrases and then let's see how it goes. So what should you say instead of make a lunchbox? There are 5 phrases that I recommend. Pack a bento, prepare a bento, make a lunch, pack a lunch, prepare a lunch. Now, wait, stop it. Don't change the video just yet.
朝、子供のお弁当作ったってなんて言うの？
Oh yeah, you can say I made my kids lunch.
ありがとう。
Yeah, sure. And the reason for
Bye-bye.
that, what? Huh? Don't go! So many people, when they watch a video and get to the phrases, they think, いいね、勉強になった。はい、次! But if you do that, you won't remember what you learned. You won't be able to actually use it. The key to speaking English isn't to learn a bunch of phrases. It's to really understand the sense and the feeling behind those phrases. So what I'm going to share from now is the most important part. So we have these phrases: prepare a bento, make a lunch, pack a lunch, prepare a lunch. And at this point, many people I talk with think, 朝、弁当って日本語でしょ？ランチボックスを絶対に使った方がいいんじゃない？
毎日子供の弁当作ってるんですが、英語ではなんて言うの？
Oh, you can say, I make my kids bento every day.
なるほど。弁当の英語の言い方は？
Oh yeah, you can just say bento.
違う。英語で。
Oh yeah, you can say bento.
違う。
Huh? And I understand those feelings. When people make sentences in English, they take each Japanese word and try to find the English word with the same meaning. でも、英語は日本語を英語に変換するためのものではなく、英語の本来の目的は頭の中のイメージ、気持ち、情報、いわばメッセージを相手に伝えることです。And if we focus on just the words and not the messages behind the words, then it leads to saying strange things.So to understand why this is strange, let's look at the image, the message of the words bento and lunchbox. So I want to ask you, what is your image of obento? What comes to mind when you think of the word obento? Normally, it's a round container with a lid on it, and it has rice and some okazu.I can't really find a good word for okazu in English, so I'll just say okazu in it. And it's all tightly packed in a hard case. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Now, what about the word lunchbox? Well, in America, a lunchbox is a box shape. It's a square. It's either hard or soft, but a lot of them are insulated to keep food cold. You don't put the food in it directly. You either wrap up the food or put it in a separate, smaller container and put that in the lunchbox. Now, both of these items have the same purpose, to help you carry a meal around with you. But the image is very different, right? And so if you say the word lunchbox, people imagine this image right here on the right, or maybe for you it's the left, I'm not sure, but over here. And actually in recent years, more people in America are using Japanese-style lunchboxes, so much so that the word bento is now in English and means Japanese-style lunchbox. So, for example, let's look at this lunchbox ranking from the New York Times. The first thing that comes up on the list is bento boxes. You have this takenaka bento. Wow. This looks really nice. And then you have the Bent Go series. And this is an article from 2023 titled The Best Lunchboxes. It's not about Japanese style bento boxes, but these come up first because they're so useful. In English, the word lunchbox brings up an image of a Western style lunchbox, like the ones here at the bottom of the list, like this one, and this one, and the word bento brings up the image of a Japanese style lunchbox. 英語の弁当は弁当箱ではなく日本風の弁当箱の意味です。英語の lunchbox は弁当箱ではなく西洋風の弁当箱のことです。This is very similar to the English word manga. Not the Japanese word manga, but the English word manga. In Japanese, the word manga means any type of comic. But in English, comic means Western style comics, and manga means Japanese style comics. 英語の漫画は普通の漫画ではなく日本風の漫画のことです。So if someone in English says, I like manga, what they're saying is 日本風の漫画が好きです。So if you say pack a lunchbox or prepare a lunchbox, the other person will get confused because the image is different. And that's why I recommend saying bento. It creates the same image in the other person's mind. So now we learned why we should say the word bento. But what about the other parts of the sentences here? なんで pack, prepare を使って make だと lunchbox ではなく lunch になるのでしょうか? Let's look at that now. So the word make is 作る. So if you say make a lunchbox, it literally means 弁当箱自体を作る.
I made my son's lunchbox this morning.
Wow, that must be so tough. Was it plastic or metal?
Huh?
Did you make it in a factory? 弁当箱自体から作るってなるとあまりにも大変ですね. So if you use the word make, you should use it with the word lunch because you're making the food and the lunch that you put into the bento, the lunchbox, not the lunchbox itself. Hey, Ai, what did you make for lunch?
わかめご飯と、唐揚げと、あと昨日の残り物を詰めました。
Ah, nice. Another word you could use is prepare my child's bento. Now, this word prepare doesn't have the same image of make, so it sounds natural here, but it does sound a little bit formal.
Ada, do you prepare your child's bento in the morning?
Yeah, not really. Sometimes I make breakfast, but I don't prepare my son's bento in the morning. The one phrase that most Americans use when talking about Western lunches is pack my child's lunchbox because you're putting the food items in the container to carry them around. It's like when you go on a trip somewhere, not trip, a trip. And before you go to the airport, you do nizukuri, right? Well, how do you say nizukuri in English? What you say is
pack my suitcase.
Yes, pack your suitcase or pack your bags because you're packing items to carry around with you. Now, this is also really similar to the American image of lunchboxes, where you pack smaller containers or individually wrapped things in the lunchbox. Hey, Ai, did you pack your son's lunch today?
Yeah, I did.
Great! Alright, まとめに入りましょう。1、lunchbox は西洋風の弁当箱の意味をするので、日本風の弁当箱を使う場合は、弁当がおすすめです。2、make a lunchbox では、弁当箱自体を作ることになるので、違う言い方が必要です。I make my child's lunch. I prepare my child's lunch. I pack my child's lunchbox. I make my child's bento. I prepare my child's bento.I pack my child's bento. Alright, 今回の動画では生きた英語をたくさん学べたと思いますが、英語を実際に話せるようになるにはどうしたらいいのでしょうか？ほとんどの方は英語のフレーズ、文法をたくさん学ぶのですが、いきなり外国人を目の前にして話す機会が来たら、頭が真っ白になって言葉が出てこないです。僕自身も日本語を4年間勉強したのですが、実際に日本に行ったら全く話せなくて本当に悔しい思いをしました。でもそこで気づきました。 英語を実際に話せるようになる限ってもっと勉強するのではなく、英語を実際に話す感覚を身につけることです。それができたら、僕と数百人の僕の生徒が気軽に楽しく話せるようになって、人生が劇的に変わりました。その実際に話す感覚を身につけた方法は今回の動画でシェアすると長くなるので、無料 PDF にまとめました。興味のある方はぜひこちらをクリックするか、動画の下のリンクをクリックしてください。これからも一緒に世界とつながりましょう。See you next time!
Great! Okay, you can try that again.